Krishna Padaya, Krishna Pastaya, Utale, Srimate Bhakti Vedanta, Swami Iti Namine. Namo Krishna Padaya, Krishna Pastaya, Utale, Srimate Bhakti Vedanta, Swami Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Devasesha Suryavadi Astachari Shatharini Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Devasesha Sunyavadi Astachari Shatharini Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasariti Gaurabhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaurabhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaurabhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Follow. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Bolo. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Bolo. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Gauranga. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Gauranga Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Hare. Gaura Premanandi Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivajakacharya Stata Satisha A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki. Shri Gaur Nitai Ki. Harinama Sankirtam Ki. Brihat Madanga Ki. Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki. Shri Mayapur Dham Ki. All glorious to the assembled devotees, all glorious to Sri Guru and Garanga, all glorious to Srila Prabhupada. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Ti Namane Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvasesha Sunyavadi Astacharde Shatarne Vanchakalpa Turubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Vyavicha Patitanam Bhavanevyo Vaishnavevyo Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna. So welcome everyone. Tonight's host is Rasikananda Prabhu, but we need to know if Rohini Nandan Prabhu is online. Can that be answered, Rasika? I don't know how it can be answered, so I can't. Yes, he's there. Are you okay, Rohini? All set? All good? All good? Okay. So some devotees from different parts of the world, but especially the devotees in our Paris Lyrique, we have a preaching center in the center of Paris, small one. And it's called Yoga Lyrique because of various reasons. So we could actually get that place. In France, we have to do things the proper way. So in that sense, so that's how it is. So welcome to the devotees from Yoga Lyrique. And thank you for inviting me to speak. This is actually their program. Every night they have a program, and tonight they invited me to speak, and they welcomed any other devotees to join us wherever you are. So this evening, the topic is, what is the topic? What is the topic?
Kindly protect me.
Kindly protect me. Kindly protect me. Thank you for reminding me there. We all need protection. So we're going to start now with a song, and we're going to ask Rasikananda Prabhu to please put this song on the screen. Many of us know it, and some of us don't. So please put it on the screen if you can. Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Just now coming. Very simple song. You have to go, oh, what is that? That's not the whole song. That's just the last verse. Never mind. You'll be able to catch it. This is the last two lines. I don't think the other lines are on there. It's the previous verse I don't think is there. So this is from the Chaitanya Charitamrita, and it's a verse which was sung. Just keep that. Just keep that one on the line. And this was sung by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted sannyas from Keshava Bharati. He was sometimes traveling, walking here and there. And of course, he'd sing other songs, but he would sing this song, especially this song, which is a song for protection. We may think, why is the Lord singing a song for protection? Well, he's coming as a teacher as well as being absorbed in the mood of pure love of Godhead. And the mood of pure love of Godhead is not some kind of, well, it is, I suppose you could say as well, but it's not just some kind of, it's actually a state of consciousness of the living entity. The living entity is completely, absolutely depending on Krishna in every respect, although not maybe consciously aware of it. The living entity is so absorbed in Krishna. You don't have any other thought. There's no other thought to even compare with. It's only Krishna. But amongst that, and Srila Prabhupada taught us, what is the nature of such an advanced soul? One time Srila Prabhupada was in Mumbai, alias previously Bombay, and he was praying to Srimati Radharani to always, please protect me, that I not fall under the influence of the material energy. And his servant was a bit perplexed. Why is Srila Prabhupada? He's the topmost devotee. He's a Nitya Siddha, an eternal associate of the Lord, praying like this. Of course, you could say Prabhupada is praying to show us to be careful that we always have to take shelter. As when we chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We're praying to take shelter of that internal potency, Srimati Radharani, to please protect us from the influence of the external energy, her external expansion, this Maya. We're praying like that. We without the mercy of Srimati Radharani, without the mercy of her beloved representatives, such as Srila Prabhupada, we have no shelter. So he's teaching us how to get that shelter as well, as himself being absorbed in that shelter, at the divine shelter of Srimati Radharani. So he was praying like that, and his servant was curious. And Prabhupada kindly revealed that actually this is the actual state, or you could say the characteristic of one who is in that elevated platform, is that they're always taking shelter of the internal energy, always taking shelter of Srimati Radharani in whatever form she may manifest her mercy as Lord Nityananda and so on and so forth. We have that merciful connection with Srimati Radharani through the Guru, etc. Prabhupada was demonstrating this. And when we chant, especially, we're chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra for shelter, to have that shelter, because in this material world, it is a dangerous place. We've gone through the last maybe 2 or 3 months of completely unexpected, one of the strangest events in history, at least in this modern day, of the world, where we've all been subjected to this whatever lockdown or whatever it is in different places, and the after effects, and some of them immediate effects, which we're experiencing. And we may see, or many people see, oh, it's very dangerous. Not everyone sees it like that either, but it is a dangerous situation for many, and many of our devotees have also been subjected to this virus. So we can say it's dangerous. We're kind of like made to think it's a very dangerous situation. But actually every moment is dangerous. It's not like only when there's a danger. Oftentimes people turn to God when there is some kind of immediate danger. God save me. God help me. Oh Krishna, oh Jesus, whatever it is, we cry out for help when we're in a helpless situation. But for one who's a little bit conscious, we're in one sense in a helpless situation. The only real help we have is the lotus feet of Krishna and his expansions, his devotees, etc. They're our only shelter. We have no other protection. And we'll be hearing a little bit more about this protection of the Lord in various ways, perhaps this evening. But we'll start now by singing this song, which Lord Chaitanya sang. It's a song appealing to the Lord, please protect me, please protect me. Oh Lord, please protect me. Protect me from what? Protect that we do not fall under the influence of the material energy. So we'll sing this song now, and there it is. Thank you very much. You got the whole thing. Good. Well done, Rasika. I gave a little time there. Good. This is somewhere, I don't know where it's from. It's Chaitanya Charitamrita. Great. Wonderful. I just drink some water. Excuse me. Are you okay, Rohini? Rohini Nandan is translating into French, if anyone.
Yes, I'm okay, Maharaj. Thank you.
Are you okay with that? Those who are doing the French translation, Rohini is doing, and those who need French, please try to connect with Rohini. Yeah, he's in Paris and he's translating. We used to sing this almost every day when we first came into the temple, because we would read Krishna book every day, and before Krishna book we would sing this song. Krishna, 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 hey. Krishna, Krishna, all together. Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare. Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hey. Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Rakshama. Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Rakshama. Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Ahimam. Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Ahimam. Ram Raghava, Ram Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rama Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rakshama. Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Pahimam. Krishna Keshava, oh! Krishna Keshava, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare. Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare. Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare. Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Rakshama. Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Rakshama. Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Pahimam. Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Pahimam. Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rakhamam. Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rakhamam. Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Pahimam. Krishna Keshava, Pahimam. Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, 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 Krishna Keshava, Pahimam. Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rakshama. Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rakshama. Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Pahimam. Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Pahimam. Translation. O Lord Krishna, please protect me and maintain me. O Lord Ram, that's okay, descendant of King Raghu, please protect me. O Krishna, O Keshava, killer of the Keshi demon, please maintain me. What a beautiful song there from Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. There's a sannyasi. This is a sannyasi's mood. They're always supposed to be taking shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. This is the only way that they cross over, or we cross over. Actually, Srila Prabhupada says all devotees should be Goswami. We should all be controlling our senses, using our senses for the pleasure of Krishna, not for our own sense gratification. We may be in between somewhere, mixed, wherever we are, but our goal is to fully engage our mind, our body, our senses in the service of Krishna. Then we will have full protection. This is the business of Goswami, sannyasi, fully engaged, taking shelter, will cross over this great ocean of material existence by taking shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. And that is, say, evoked or developed by taking shelter, especially of the holy name of Krishna in all situations. Not just mechanically. Maybe now we're just mechanically trying to chant. This is the symptom of a beginning devotee. Kanistadikari, they're trying to chant. We try to chant. Our chanting is neither very attentive, neither very deep, neither very pure, whatever it may be. But we're trying to chant, maybe with offenses, but we're trying to chant. We're not purposely trying to commit offense, but due to conditional situations, both from the past and present, sometimes that may happen. Therefore, we're not actually getting a taste. In the Shikshastakam prayers, Lord Chaitanya says like that, because of offenses, I have no taste. So we may not have that. We're maybe beginning stage, but if we chant under the guidance of an advanced devotee, at least the second Madhyam Bhakta, who likes to chant, who's always wanting to chant, then there's every chance, if we follow them, associate with them, follow their guidelines, their instructions, we may also develop that spirit by association of always chanting, or chanting more at least, if not always, but at least more. Chant more and more and more. This is a recommendation. So even if we are neophytes, still we should practice chanting more and more, because there is danger. Not just because there's danger, ultimately that's not the reason, but at least we can understand that. Samasriti ye padapalabhavlavam mahadpadam punya shomarare bhavambadi vats paramparam yadvibadam natesham, that there is danger at every step in this material existence. Even if we don't recognize it, there is danger within. Our minds wandering onto material objects, causing us to perpetuate our material lifetimes of karmic reactions, samsara. We don't realize it. And those desires generally activate activity in due course of time, which further implicates us, etc. We don't realize that sometimes we take it for granted, and around us, it's no problem. But all the time we're becoming attracted to the sense objects separately, seeing them separately from Krishna. Seeing anything separate from Krishna is dangerous, in one sense, because that's the very cause of our being here. So that the aspect of chanting the holy names of Krishna, taking shelter of the holy name, as we know from the Bhagavad Gita in the 18th chapter, 1866, famous verse, Sarva dharmam parityagya mamikam sharanam vrajam tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishami ma shucham. Giving up all other shelters, completely taking shelter of me, surrendering to me. I will protect you from all sinful reactions. You have no need to fear. Krishna will protect us if we surrender. As they surrender, ye yatamam prapadyate tamstataiva bhajamya. As they surrender unto me, Krishna says, I reward them accordingly. This is our surrender. Trying to simply hear. Try our best to just hear the holy name. There's no other, it's not like some kind of like, I don't know. Sometimes everybody Ramu. We go to, not all this, just try to hear the sound of the name, Krishna. Whether we're breathing in, out, upside down, standing on our head, underwater, it doesn't make any difference. Try to hear the sound, Krishna, Hare, Rama. That is how we get the shelter of Krishna. Like, this is surrender. Having this, cultivating this faith in the holy, in Krishna is non-different. He is the name. He's not the name of Krishna. He is the name. And this, we can develop this, absorption, this faith, this mood in the association of those who have it, those who've got that love for Krishna manifesting as his holy name. Very wonderful. So remember that there is danger in this world at every step. It's not just when we see it with our conditioned senses. The very fact that we've got a material body and mind is dangerous. But only if we use that body and mind in the service of Krishna have we no need to fear. There is no danger for someone who is taken, just like a child who completely takes shelter of the father doesn't have any fear. Of course, the father may not be able to protect the child, but the child feels, I have nothing to worry about. My father is here. Have no fear. Those on a real platform, we take shelter of the holy name, take shelter of Krishna's lotus feet, and we'll have nothing to worry about. Now we're going to go on to a Srimad Bhagavatam verse. So we'll sing Jaya Radha Madhava. Again, try to absorb our hearts in the sound of this beautiful description of Vrindavan. Let's try to feel ourselves being given this opportunity by Srila Prabhupada to at least remember a little bit about Vrindavan. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari 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 Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yasodanandana Vrajajana Nandana 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 Yasodanandana Vrajajana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Prabhupada ki jai. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Go Premanandi, oh glorious the assembled devotees. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vishnaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami. Namaste Saraswati Devam Gauravani Vicharini Nirvasesha Sunyavadi Pasticharya Shatan. So we're going to ask Rasikananda Prabhu please to put the verse on the board now, if we can. This is from the Srimad Bhagavatam. It's Canto 1, chapter number 8. I can't remember which verse it was because there's a series of verses on this. We will see it in a minute, maybe 24 or 23, I don't know. Let us see. We're not seeing it at the moment. This is the prayers by Queen Kunti. We see in the Srimad Bhagavatam so many incidences where the devotees show us how to take shelter of Krishna, how to invoke Krishna's protection. Here it is, text number 24. Because the protection of pure devotee, as you may have read in the Nectar of Devotion, the symptoms of a devotee who's fully surrendered, there's a symptom called Goptritve. There are 6 symptoms of surrender. Of course, there are more, but these are the primary symptoms. 6 symptoms. And amongst those is Goptritve. Goptritve means to, in every situation, to know that Krishna is our only maintainer, our only protector. Whether you appeal to it, whether we know it, whether we call for it or not, is besides the point. He is the maintainer and protector of everything and everybody. The devotee has this conviction and full, total faith, not just faith, but absolute conviction that this is the situation, that Krishna is our absolute protector in every situation and our maintainer. So we find this mood being demonstrated in various ways through the Srimad Bhagavatam. How Krishna protects his devotees, even those devotees who are not so advanced, how Krishna is protecting us. So here we're going to hear about one great devotee, of course, in this case, Queen Kunti, who is very advanced. And this is her prayers. And if you'd like to follow, you're very welcome. Perhaps, I don't know if you can do that, Rasika. Perhaps we should read 23 as well, because it's in the same mood. I don't know if you can go back on this. I don't know where you are on this. Have you got 23 on there also? Maybe. Yeah, there it is. Look at that. Magic. So this is 23. I'm not going to read the Sanskrit. We just read the English. We go to the English, please. And there, Queen Kunti is praying to the Lord. The Lord is about to leave from Hastinapur, and Queen Kunti is feeling greatly the separation of the Lord. So she's praying to him in beautiful prayers for a revelation of her own heart, but it's explicitly for our benefit. So we can learn or develop by association the mood of surrender. O Rishikesh, Master of the senses and Lord of lords, you have released your mother Devaki, who was long imprisoned and distressed by the envious King Kamsa. And you've released me also and my children from a series of constant dangers. Sometimes we may wonder, Krishna seems to put his devotees into difficulty and then release them from it. It seems strange, maybe, but they're also showing us who are in difficulty how we can get released from difficulty. They're showing us, being put into a prison. We're kind of in prison, being in lockup in some cases, not with our situation here, but some people are like that. And what to do in that situation. How to take shelter of Krishna. In this particular case, it's very specific. Devaki has been locked up by Kamsa. And of course, she must be suffering great distress. Her children have been taken away. In every situation the devotee takes, it's not like, again, these are advanced devotees. So whatever happens, they accept that as Krishna's mercy. They don't complain or, oh, Krishna, why are you doing this to me? No, they're completely dependent upon Krishna. He knows their whole life. But this is the purpose of our life, really, to become completely dependent on Krishna and not just dependent on the results. Krishna is not our order supplier. He is, in one sense, but that's not his real position. That's not our real relationship with him. Our relationship is one of love. And in loving relationship, it's meant to be unconditional. It doesn't depend upon results, upon anything other than love. So Queen Kunti has this firm love for the Lord. She's a little in Vatsalya Bhava. So she has this loving mood towards Krishna in service and Vatsalya. So she's praying here to the Lord and how you protected Mother Devaki in all the difficulties she had to go through. You saved her, and you saved next verse. Oh, I'll read a bit of the purport. Towards the end of the purport, there's a nice sentence by Prabhupada, maybe the last sentence or two of this purport. There it says, the conclusion is that Krishna endows more favor to a devotee who is in greater dangers. More favors. Sometimes he puts his pure devotee in such dangers because in that condition of helplessness, the devotee becomes more attached to the Lord. When we let go of all other, I give up. As we've been reading in the third canto of Bhagavatam, the teachings of Lord Kapila on devotional service, how Devahuti, fed up, sick of the miseries, or sick of trying to enjoy this material world. She's let go. I want to let go. I want to let go of these attachments, of these shelters and dependencies. They're atmasanyashva satsapi. They're fallible soldiers. They cannot protect us. They cannot satisfy us. No way. We try, but it's a helpless, hopeless endeavor. Because the material world is meant, that's what it's for. It's meant to teach us that there is no real shelter in this world. And the Lord here, Prabhupada says, the Lord sometimes puts his devotees into such helpless suffering where they completely take shelter of Krishna. We can think of another good example of that, isn't it? We can't reciprocate, but we could say perhaps in the case of Draupadi, she's a good example of that too. Also a great devotee of the Lord. And when she was being insulted in the court of the Kauravas, what could she do? Even her own husbands were not coming forward to protect her. No one was there to protect her. Even Bhishma was silent. No one was coming forward as Karna and Dushyashan were trying to disrobe her, insulting her in the assembly. What a sinful, wicked thing to do to a chaste lady. Nowadays it's different, but those days, chaste ladies, even today is a sin. But it was such an abominable thing to do. No one, she's trying seemingly to protect her. What can she do? And she simply surrenders to Krishna, even not saying necessarily protect me. Oh, Krishna, look at. And Krishna, naturally to his surrendered devotee, he protected her by manifesting himself in an unusual form as an unlimited sari, you could say, to protect her from this disgrace. So he comes to protect his surrendered souls. He protects us all in different ways. And we'll see that in a minute, how different ways that we're being protected. So here we see then, Prabhupada goes on, the devotee becomes more attached. The more the attachment is there for the Lord, the more success is there for the devotee. When we become frustrated in trying to be the enjoyer, frustrated in trying to be the protector, frustrated in trying to be the center of attraction, etc., and the Lord begins. Then we'll start to see how his merciful hand is working, that we want something, we don't get it. We may get upset, but Krishna wants us to have the most valuable thing. Not just some temporary satisfaction to our mind and senses, or a position, or an achievement. That's childlike. That's okay in the beginning. But he wants us to go further. So when we're ready, and Prabhupada quoted this actually, Srila Prabhupada is another good example. When Srila Prabhupada was, it was predicted that Srila Prabhupada, by the astrologer anyway, predicted that he could become one of the wealthiest men in India. It was there in his chart. And Prabhupada started off quite, you could say, in business, quite successful as a young man. But every time Krishna kind of took it away just at a certain point. Even when he had his own business, Krishna would take it away. His family wasn't working for him. Things just didn't work. Even his own Bhagavad Gita translation was taken away at one time. Pure devotee, you can say, he doesn't have to go through this, but showing us by example, not, to take shelter of Krishna. We're here to take shelter of Krishna, not the results. Not the results. And why? Well, proper Yashaham. I've forgotten the verse. There's a verse in the back Srimad Bhagavatam, late 10th canto, which describes when Krishna is especially kind or merciful to his devotees. He takes away whatever is holding us back from pure devotional service. Now, Srila Prabhupada was a little different also because he had a mission, and Krishna was preparing the way for that mission in various ways. But besides that, he takes away, that's another form of his protection. We think it's not protection. When we're put into difficult situations, as we were mentioning the other day, Haridas Thakur, for instance, when he was locked up in a prison by the Chandkazi, not the Chandkazi, it was another Kazi. It was another Kazi who very enviously arranged for his arrest, and they put him into prison. And he's in the prison, and many Hindus are in the prison, and they say, "Oh, Haridas, he's a great saint. Oh, Haridas, please bless us. Please bless us, Haridas. Oh, we're suffering here. Please." What did they want? They wanted, "Please pray, by your grace we can be released from this prison house." What did he say? He said, "You please stay where you are now. I bless you to stay where you are now." Oh, no. They thought it was a curse. I said, don't misunderstand. Right now, you are remembering Krishna. You're not engaged in any sinful activity. You're remembering Krishna. May you always stay in that state. And you will, when you get out of this prison, which you will soon anyway, that you will remember Krishna and give up your sinful lives. And Krishna is protecting us. We don't see it like that. It's like a mother or a father protecting their child when children don't have usually very much intelligence. Their intelligence is running after what I want. I want this immediate shreyas. They want immediate satisfaction. The parents, rightly or wrongly, consider they know what is better for the child. The child should study, should go to bed, should eat properly, should keep clean, should not associate with naughty boys and girls or whatever it is. Different things, some discipline there. And the child may not like it. "Why are you doing this to me? I want to play." So similarly in this material world, I want to enjoy. And Krishna takes it away. "Oh no, why is this happening?" Sometimes even devotees were like this when they speak of the public in general. But it's to help us to realize that we're not the central enjoyer. Our enjoyment is only when Krishna is pleased. It's not I can enjoy separately. No, it's when Krishna is pleased. So we're trying to mold our lives for the pleasure of Krishna under the direction of the pure devotee of the Lord. So they also teach us by their living example through their lives, because we go through these things ourselves, we get upset when things don't go right, and so on. They teach us how to take shelter. Krishna Prabhupada was quoting that verse from the Bhagavatam. Very nice verse. So we're going to text 23. It's another form of protection. Krishna protects us so we don't become too entangled in the material. Those are on this path. 23. We can chant it together. Ishan Mahagne Purushada Darshanat. Ishan Mahagne Purushada Darshanat. Asat Sabaya Vanavasa Krishrataha. Asat Sabaya Vanavasa Krishrataha. Mide neka maharatastrato. Mide neka maharatastrato. Donyasratas shasma hare virakshita. Donyasratas shasma hare virakshita. So Queen Kunti carries on. My dear Krishna, your lordship has protected us from a poisoned cake. Maybe her Bhima rather was, they tried to poison Duryodhana and his associates tried to poison Bhima, giving him poisonous food, but he was protected. Krishna protected him. We have another famous example of that, isn't it? A very famous example. Now, I'm sure you all, probably all would be able to say who that is, of somebody who was given poison, who Krishna protected. None other than Prahlad Maharaja. We've just celebrated Nrsimha Chaturdasi, and in Nrsimha Chaturdasi, we heard, or we may not have heard, but we know how Prahlad Maharaj was completely taking shelter of Krishna. He wasn't even asking for protection. He was just Tatenu kampam susamikshamanam punjana ivatmakita vipakam. The beautiful prayer of Lord Brahma, actually. How a devotee, he, even in suffering conditions, he doesn't actually approach the Lord saying, this is an advanced devotee, you can say. He doesn't say, oh Lord, please save me, please save me. He just takes shelter. Whatever you want to do, my Lord, I deserve to suffer so much more. And you can do what you like with me. Mare Krishna Rakike, Raki Krishna Mare Ke. If Krishna wants to kill you, no one can save us. And if Krishna wants to save us, no one can kill us. There's nothing we get. It's totally in Krishna's hands. We may not see it like that, but he's actually trying to help us to wake up. That's his protection, to help us, putting us in situations to help us to wake up. So Prabhupada says that this prayer of Lord Brahma is actually the guideline for all devotees. We should aim towards this, that we expect Krishna's protection, but we don't demand it. It's not like, why aren't you protecting me? I've served you, and on we go sometimes. And devotee just take shelter of Krishna in that condition. And Prabhupada, and the Lord Brahma goes on to say, such a devotee who's completely taking shelter of Krishna in this way becomes an eligible candidate to go back to Godhead, back to the spiritual world, when we're completely sheltered like that. So Lord Brahma, he also had that experience, in fact, in a sense. He got a little bit carried away, didn't he? A little bit carried away with his opulence. Sometimes when we have opulences, we get a little proud. The opulence may be one of knowledge, it may be one of, ability to do something, it may be because we have some beauty, so-called beauty, or even renunciation. That's probably the biggest one for devotees. We're proud of our renunciation, we're proud of our learning, proud of this and that. Mundane knowledge is, of course, also we become proud of that sometimes. But whatever it is, our strength, we may be a famous personality, we may have followers, we may become a little proud. So Krishna protects us to take away that pride. Lord Brahma became a little proud. Indra became a little proud too. They're devotees, but they're tinged by the material nature due to circumstances. We're also tinged sometimes. So we also get proud sometimes. And we see ourselves as a source of knowledge or whatever it may be. We think we're this or that. And Krishna teaches us a lesson. He takes it away. Sometimes we lose the association of devotees if we become offensive. Krishna is doing things in such a way as to prepare us to take away that which is actually detrimental to our spirit. It's a protection. It may not be seen directly as a protection, but it is actually the Lord's hand working to help release us from keeping us in this world. So Lord Brahma became a little bit proud, and he started to think it was this little boy, such a small boy, playing on the banks of the Jamuna, playing with these other boys, stealing each other's lunch packs, and then they're fighting with each other. Is this really my Lord? Is this really God? He's thinking like this. Actually, of course, there was another intention there, was to prove that Krishna is God. But he went into this mood of doubt. As Arjuna also went into the mood of doubt in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna also delivered Arjuna from the danger of doubt. That's another danger. He protected him by the instructions, and he's protecting us if we take advantage of the Bhagavad Gita to protect us from doubts, to protect us from deviation from our duty, etc. So Lord Brahma, he was feeling some doubt. So he tested Krishna. He thought, I'll show him a lesson with my opulences. And then he tried to play a trick on Krishna. And we most likely know the story, how Krishna completely humbled Lord Brahma, and he became very humbled. So Krishna protected him in that way by teaching him this lesson and removing his pride. The same thing with Indra. The funny, actually, after that incident of Lord Brahma, Brahma felt very, very sorry and repentant, and he prayed that he may take birth in a lowly family, so that he would have with no pride about birth or position, etc. So the Lord appeared before him and assured him that his desire would be fulfilled, and that he would appear in the Lord's next appearance in this, well, not the next one, but the next time when he would fully appear in this world in his full form as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that Haridas or Lord Brahma would appear as one of his chief assistants, and he would be the Namacharya, and his name would be Haridas. Krishna initiated him there as Haridas, and he would be always chanting the holy name. This way he protected him. He protected Indra too. Indra became very proud. Many protections took place there. When Indra became very, very proud, when Krishna stopped the Indra Yagya, and instead he convinced all the Brajbasis, let us worship Govardhan Hill and the cows and the Brahmins. What do we need to worship this demigod, this king of heaven? He's just a puppet. He has to reward us according to our work. He has nothing to do with it, really. He's just like a machine. Well, Indra didn't like that. He got really angry, and he sent his heaviest destructive clouds of Samantaka, clouds that appear at the end of the universe to destroy Vrindavan. How dare they stop my yajna? How dare they offend me? Who do they think they are? I am the king of heaven. Who are you? You humans. I'll punish you. He actually went right out there. He got completely intoxicated with pride, absolutely mad. And he wanted to smash Vrindavan. He wanted to kill the residents. Kill them. Go there, devastate Vrindavan. He was so angry. And he went there together with his winds and the rains and the thunder and the storms and the hail and everything, crashing down from the sky, smashing Vrindavan from every angle. And everyone's crying out because the residents of Vrindavan, they may be from different, you can say, different coming in from different areas, but everyone was just, we have no shelter. Krishna, the little tiny boy, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. And they were doing that every day in every situation, but this time, absolutely, they had nothing, no other hope other than Krishna. Krishna placed them in this situation, and they were completely taking shelter. So Krishna naturally said, don't fear, have no fear. Don't worry, because they're completely surrendered. So Krishna picks up Govardhan Hill, and he holds it there on the little finger of his left hand. He picked it up with his left palm, and he put it onto his little finger and held it there for 7 days and nights. And everyone took shelter, all the Brijbasis, all the residents, they all went under the mountain, Govardhan. And for 7 days they were in bliss, complete bliss, because they were all with Krishna day and night. Normally they were experiencing separation, but now they were experiencing constant sambhoga, constant union, not sambhoga, but union with Krishna constantly, day and night. They were all in ecstasy. And meanwhile, outside, Indra is thrashing away with his clouds and his winds and his hail and everything he could throw down, and nobody is even bothering. They're completely happy because protection means they're completely absorbed in Krishna. This is protection. It's not some physical thing. Most people pray to God for physical things. Physical things. And because Vrindavan is a spiritual abode. The cows are spiritual. Krishna, not to speak of Krishna, and all the associates are spiritual. There's so much. The residents of Vrindavan were thinking of Krishna's pleasure. If Vrindavan is destroyed, if we're destroyed, then what will happen? Krishna, They're only living for his pleasure, and Krishna's pleasure will be destroyed. They're thinking of Krishna's pleasure. They're not thinking of their own. Whereas in the material world, we're thinking of our own. We're in difficulty. And that's good. That's the beginning. But that's not an advanced stage of devotion. Krishna will reciprocate also, accordingly, what is best for us ultimately to go on forward on the spiritual path. But in this case, he protected them fully. And he also protected Indra ultimately. Indra eventually gave up, realizing he was completely defeated. All of his efforts were fruitless. And he returned to the heavens completely morose. And eventually, by the grace of Surabi and Lord Brahma, he returned to Vrindavan and he surrendered to Krishna, completely surrendered. So Krishna smashed his pride, another form of protection, where the Lord destroys our pride, destroys our ignorance, destroys our false understanding. On the other side, he protects. He protects, and we see in many cases, he's protecting the devotee's religious principles. We could take the example, for instance, of the Battle of Kurukshetra. Krishna promises in the Bhagavad Gita, my devotee shall never be vanquished. He shall never be vanquished. On the Battle of Kurukshetra, there was this one incident, you may be familiar with this, when Arjuna, Bhishma, Bhishma the night before, this particular stage, Dronacharya had really gotten on his case that he was taking it easy. So Bhishma vowed that he would kill the 5 Pandavas the next day, or Krishna would have to break his promise. He actually had 5 arrows for that purpose, which Krishna very cleverly took away from. So he didn't have these. Still, then he vowed that I will either kill the Pandavas or Krishna will have to break his promise. So he went on the battlefield like never before, and he was fighting so furiously. Arjuna was being smashed to pieces by Bhishma. So what to do? Arjuna is the Krishna's dear friend and devotee, and he promised that his devotee will never be vanquished. So Krishna, knowing the promise or the vow of Bhishma, he had to sustain, he had to maintain both protect Arjuna, his devotee, and also protect the vow of Bhishma. So Krishna was willing to break his own promise that he would not fight in order to protect his statement in the Bhagavad Gita and protect the vow of Bhishma. So he got off the chariot, picked up the chariot wheel, and went to attack Bhishma. So Bhishma was in ecstasy. So Krishna protects, and it comes in many different ways at different levels, neophyte, medium, advanced. He's always there. Every stage we try to take shelter of Krishna, and he will protect us. There's so many examples of Krishna protecting a devotee. He's protecting everyone. We're just ignorant. We don't realize it, that's all. But especially, Prabhupada said, when a person first comes to Krishna consciousness, for that very moment, Krishna is protecting that person in different ways. And that protection may not always be physical, as we usually think it should be. It's actually to protect us so that we don't fall into Maya. Of course, we may want to fall in Maya, but Krishna arranges things that we come back again. Neha bhikkhunu nashosti pratyavaya nivijjate. Swapam pesya dharmasya. Traite mahodobhyat. He's protecting us. Even little advancement on this path can save one from the greatest danger of falling into the darkest regions. Just like a Jamil. A Jamil, of course, he had his previous lifetime. That's another thing. But in his particular life he was in now, he'd fall into a very, very degraded situation. Very degraded. He was a good Brahmin at one point of time, but he became very, very, very sinful, very degraded. But because he'd had that good upbringing, you could say, and because he had been fortunately blessed by a devotee to name one of his children Narayan. So he was very attached to that young child, very attached. And do anything for that child. And he was always going, Narayan, 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 are you there? Narayan, come, Narayan, Narayan, come and eat your meal. Come, Narayan, come with me, Narayan. He was very attached to his son. So he was always unknowingly becoming purified. In fact, in the world today, we see so many good fortunes. It's not just the Harinam Sankirtan going out, but all over the world, people are chanting the names of the Lord. Everywhere. Oh, sorry, I forgot the verse then. All over the world, people are chanting Hari, 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 Hari. Rama, 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 Rama. Sexarama, Sexarama, Autorama, Sinarama, Castorama, Sinarama, or Londarama. Everywhere, Rama, 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 Ramada, Ramada, etc., etc. Different names of Krishna everywhere are being chanted. Harama, Harama. So many, all over the world, people chanting Krishna's names unknowingly. They're getting purified. Krishna's protecting them from sinful reactions. They may not be just like a Jamil. When the time of death came, he called Narayan, 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 Narayan. He was so attached. And gradually it woke up his remembrance of Narayan. And so the Vishnu Dutas came on the scene. And the Yamadutas had to back off. And they gave him another chance to cultivate pure devotional service. They delivered him from his sinful reactions. Said, as long as you don't commit those again, it's like initiation, basically. Okay, if you don't get them again, you follow this process, then you'll attain perfection. He went to hardware and attained perfection. This is the protection of the Lord. Protects even a little bit of service. Krishna's there, always working, always arranging things to take away whatever is the cause of our attachments in this material. In that particular verse regarding Lord Brahma's prayer, Takteno Kampam, Susamikshamana, Sri Goswami describes in his commentary that actually it's not a sinful reaction or a karmic reaction when a devotee appears to suffer. It's the Lord's special arrangement where he places the devotee in a situation to help that devotee to become completely freed of the mentality which causes us to remain entangled and attached in this material world. He's taking away the root. The real protection of the Lord is to remove the root. And the root of evil, whether it's piety or impiety in this world, they're both in one sense sinful from the spiritual platform. They're both mundane. They're both separate from Krishna. So we take that away, not to become attached to one or the other, but to remove the root cause. And how that root cause is removed is we were discussing the other day, by exposing ourselves, by taking shelter of the holy name of Krishna with careful attention, taking shelter of Krishna. And just like we have Krishna in Vrindavan, we heard about Indra and Brahma, but there's so many pastimes in Vrindavan where Krishna's protecting his devotees from different demons and this and that. Just like he's protected the Pandavas here. And I'll just finish the verse, then you can put the picture back on. Protecting us from a great fire. They were put into the house of Shelak. And by the grace of Vidura, they found a way of escaping, but it was Krishna's arrangement that they were able to escape from that great house of Shelak. From cannibals in the jungle, Bhima had to fight with one great Rakshasas and so on when they were in exile. From the vicious assembly, we've heard about that already. From sufferings during our exile in the forest, so many sufferings and tests, how Draupadi in the forest there, she was also, Durvasa Muni came with his massive group of disciples, 60,000 sent by Duryodhana there to give trouble to the Pandavas because Draupadi had this magic pot, which could produce unending food. But once she'd eaten, that was it. They couldn't do it again that day. It was a special pot. So after she'd eaten, then the pot couldn't do anything for the rest of the day. So knowing this, Duryodhana wanted to, really put them in trouble. And Durvasa Muni is, he can get quite passionate sometimes. So he went there with his 60,000 disciples just at the moment that Draupadi had finished her meal. What to do? Yudhishthira received them with all respect. My dear great sage, please, if you kindly take your bath as you've been traveling first, and then you come back and we will feed you with a feast. All you and all your followers. How to do this? We will look after. We didn't say a feast, but he just asked them to take go to the bath. So they went to the river first, expecting to come back shortly for a feast. Meanwhile, Draupadi had such anxiety, what to do. Oh, Krishna appeared. And he said, okay, bring the pot. She brought the pot, which was washed, but they said, is there anything in it? They found one little grain of rice and a little tiny bit of sabji stuck on the pot. Give that to me. Patram pushpam padam palam tuyam. They offered it to Krishna, and he just took that little grain of rice and sabji, and just by that alone, feeding the root of a tree, all of the followers of Devasa Muni suddenly felt their stomach going out like this. They were so full, they didn't know what to do. They were burping. They were in the river, and Yudhishthira went to call them to the river, but they all left. There was no one there. They were all gone. They felt so embarrassed. How can we go there? Yudhishthira has prepared such a big feast for us. We would be disgraced if we can't eat anything. He's a very powerful person. We may even become cursed. Who knows what will happen to us? We cannot go back, they all thought. We have to leave immediately before we're disgraced. They all left. Yudhishthira came, there was nobody there. Krishna protected the Pandavas in so many ways. And now you have saved us from the weapon of Ashvatthama. And that's another beautiful pastime. How Uttara was the only, basically speaking, remaining hope for the Kuru dynasty. In her womb was the great Parikshit Maharaj. Her husband Abhimanyu had already been killed on the battlefield. The other sons of Draupadi, the 5 sons of Draupadi, were all killed. The sons of Arjuna were killed. Everyone else is dead. The next generation, all dead. The only hope was this child, the embryo in the womb, who later became, as we know, Parikshit Maharaj. And Ashvatthama, the son of Drona, was very, he had this role to play, almost a dharmic role, to do all sorts of things against Dharma. So he decided he would kill the last remaining remnant or descendant, member of the Kuru dynasty, and he sent his Brahmastra weapon at the womb. And Uttara could feel that weapon coming towards us, and she prayed. And this is actually, I think, in the beginning of this chapter. Here it is. Uttara vacha pahi pahi mahayogin deva deva jagatpate nanyan fadabayam pashe yatra mittu parasparam. Uttara said, O Lord of Lords, Lord of the universe, you are the greatest of mystics. Please protect me, for there is no one else who can save me from the clutches of death in this world of duality. Oh, my Lord, you are all powerful. A fiery iron arrow is coming toward me fast. My Lord, let it burn me personally if you so desire, but please do not let it burn and abort my embryo. Please do me this favor, my Lord. And of course, Krishna appeared there. And to protect the embryo with his Sudarshan chakra, he destroyed the attacking Brahmastra. The same thing he did with Haridas Thakur. When Brahma took birth as Haridas Thakur, who became a Namacharya, when he was being beaten in the marketplaces by the servants or the guards of the Nawab Hussain, he had sentenced Haridas Thakur to be beaten to death, and the guards were whipping him like anything. And Haridas Thakur was simply smiling and chanting, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Constantly chanting the holy names and smiling. He was totally unaffected. They couldn't believe what is going on here. Usually 1 marketplace, 2 at the most, they're dead. 22 marketplaces, and he's smiling and chanting these names, whatever they are. What is this? Who is this person? What is going on here? They couldn't work it out. They became totally exhausted and afraid. They thought, we failed in our duty to kill him. And because we failed, we may be killed. So they started to get very depressed. And Haridas said, what's wrong? Why are you looking so morose? Oh, we don't know who you are, Haridas, but we're so afraid because we failed to kill you, and our master may kill us instead. Oh, Haridas said, why didn't you tell me earlier? If my staying alive is causing you harm. You should have told me earlier. I would have died immediately if my living was causing you harm. They couldn't believe it. So he went into deep samadhi and appeared to be dead. Well, to all intents and purposes, they took him back thinking they succeeded at last. And now they decided to throw him into the river eventually with balls and chains on him into the Ganga and to go to hell, like all Hindus, because he die in the Ganga, according to Muslim. So they threw him into the river Ganga, and Ganga was very happy. She was ecstatic. She'd been praying. Ganga Devi had been praying to get the opportunity to touch Haridas and to embrace him in her waves. So she embraced Haridas and took him down the river back to where he came from, to Pulia, which is where he was arrested from. And then Ganga released all of the chains and balls and put him back on the beach. And he walked back to his cave and carried on chanting, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And in ecstasy. What's going on here? That's another story. Later on in Navadvip, Mayapur to be specific, in the house of Srivas Thakur, when Lord Chaitanya was performing these amazing pastimes for 72 hours or more, and he was calling up each and every devotee and glorifying them and asking them for a boon. Eventually, Haridas was an early comer. He was very much older than Lord Chaitanya in terms of years and appearing in this world. And when Lord Chaitanya called him up, he said, Haridas, do you remember that time? Because most of the devotees didn't know Haridas at that time. He was a newcomer to the Sangha. So Haridas, Lord Chaitanya was talking about in so many ways. He said, do you remember that time when you were being beaten in that marketplace? Do you remember that time? Haridas was quiet. Lord Chaitanya then began to explain. He said, when I saw what was going on there, Lord Chaitanya said, I sent my Sudarshan chakra immediately to kill them all. Because you are my dear devotee. But you wouldn't allow Sudarshan to touch them. You wouldn't allow it. You were simply saying, please be merciful to these people. Please deliver them, my Lord. Please have mercy. Sudarshan could do nothing. He was completely impotent. He had to return. So seeing that, I went myself and I placed my back on yours. And then Lord Chaitanya turned around and showed his own back with all the whip marks on his back, all down his back. And everyone was astonished to see this, that the Lord personally came. As Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, he protects his devotee. He preserves personally preserves what they have and provides what they lack. Personally. It's not that he does it through something else. For one who's surrendered to him personally, Krishna takes personally protects that devotee. We may not be on that level, we may not understand that, but this is how Krishna deals with his pure devotees, just like with Prahlad Maharaj, how he personally protected him from all the horrendous things that Hiranyakashipu tried to do to him to kill him. But Krishna protected him at every moment because he was completely surrendered, chanting the holy names of Krishna. This is our only shelter, our only protection is to take shelter of the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This is all the devotees are teaching us this through different ways. So many examples are there, and then there are other levels. Gajendra maybe on another slightly more materialistic level, how he got the protection from the Lord. So many different examples. Lord Chaitanya protected a servant, Kala Krishna Das, who fell under the influence of some Bhattaharis, some mystical kind of people, and he got captivated by them into sex. Like Lord Chaitanya went there personally and brought him back. Krishna personally brings the devotee back, and he'll do that to everyone who takes shelter of Srila Prabhupada. Even we may drift off into God knows where. But by the Prabhupada one time said, one devotee was saying, Srila Prabhupada, sometimes devotees leave ISKCON. Prabhupada said, no one leaves. They cannot leave. It may be their initiative to leave. It's my initiative. They cannot leave. They may go away for a while, but they cannot leave. We'll bring them back. It's the desire of the pure devotee. So powerful, that protection. Take shelter of the holy name. Take shelter of the pure devotees of the Lord. This is the only shelter in this world. There is no other shelter. No amount of medicines. As Prahlad Maharaj said, you may have a very good boat, but that doesn't guarantee it's not going to sink in the ocean. You may have the best of medicines, but that doesn't mean we'll become cured. The best doctors, the best hospitals. You may have the best, even our own parents, they're doing everything they can, but they cannot guarantee that they can protect us. Only the shelter of Krishna. And he's guiding every living entity accordingly to give everyone the chance to wake up, to get free of this dreamlike condition where we're in this world of dukkhalayam shashvatam, suffering, this world of temporary distress, to wake us all up. So this Sankirtan movement is none other than the dust of the mercy of the lotus feet of the Lord manifesting and spreading all over the world to give this mercy, to gradually bring everyone back to Godhead. This is the mercy of the Lord. He's protecting everyone in this way, especially right now. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So I'll finish there. Are there any questions? If there's anyone there. Anyone there? Somebody has a question. If there's anyone there. I haven't seen what it is yet. It just says, I have a question. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Is the answer. Now, what one should do in the case of someone who has left ISKCON? Well, they left externally. We pray. Probably should pray. And probably also, I was just actually, funnily enough, I was reading something today where Prabhupada was saying, when somebody goes away from our shelter, we should look inside. We should feel that's my fault. That's my fault. Sometimes we say, oh, anyway, they were this and they were that. Or, darn these other people for tempting them away, or whatever it is. We shouldn't think like that. We should think there's something I've not served that person. I've not served that person personally, or that devotee. I've done something, upset them, whatever it is. We think like that, whether we have or not, but that's how a devotee feels. That feeling of self-reflection, that feeling of, it's my, not that we're that great, but we should feel like that. And we pray, we can pray. And we can try to become more sincere and more serious about Krishna consciousness. People leave for various reasons, that may be so. But the main thing is we should try to live our lives and create an environment which is so attractive, no one won't leave. But obviously people come and go. That was happening during Prabhupada's time. But Prabhupada would cry. Many times he would cry when devotees would leave. Many times. There are direct evidences of that, with Prabhupada crying when he heard that certain devotees had fallen away or gone away from devotional service. It's so hard after so much work of trying to bring someone to Krishna consciousness, and then someone drifts back into the material energy. So the devotee feels very, very sad. Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj used to cry also when devotees would leave. He was so upset when devotees would leave. He would do anything to bring them back. And because of their desire, Krishna will bring them back. So we have the positive desire, prayer, and this self-reflection, feeling within our own hearts, repentant. Hare Krishna. Anything else? Thank you. Anybody? Anyone else? Rohini? Anybody? Anybody out there? Come on, don't be afraid. Hundreds, not hundreds, about 20 verses in Gita where Krishna describes his protective nature in different ways. We could mention a few other. I mean, we can mention many different examples. We mentioned a lot already. How Krishna protects. Let's give another good example. Here's another one of the pure devotee. We try to give association to those devotees. Yes, we should. thank you very much. We should definitely try to give association to them, but we have to know how to give association as well in a way which will help to bring them back. If the heart is very sincere, Krishna will guide us so that we do, give the association which will be attractive. We're not the controllers. Krishna's in control. He's guiding their wanderings. Maybe you can see it that they have lessons to learn, etc. from their side. From our side, we just hope and pray that they come back and remain forever at the lotus feet of Guru and Gauranga, that's for sure. And it depends on the situation. When you say give association to them, it depends where they are and where they've gone, etc., etc. Sometimes they go to other Vaishnava groups. That's a little different situation, maybe. And that we can definitely see ourselves self-reflectively. We should try to improve our own relationships, our own respect, and our own devotional practices, etc., so that we do become a better representative of the pure devotee and more likely to be able to help devotees to keep their shelter at the lotus feet of the pure devotee. And if a person's going into Maya, devotee goes into complete Maya, yes, sometimes we may be able to do that. And it may be in a very gentle way, just like we do with new people who come to Krishna consciousness, very gentle. But we should practice that in our own lives and not just wait until it happens. Not say, oh boy, I should have looked after him better. Oh boy, he went away because he was sick and I didn't care for him, etc., etc. We should be conscious of that even in our daily lives, to look after the devotees, to relate with each other, to discuss with each other, to do things together, to get to know each other a little bit more, and share devotional service with each other accordingly. So that's a very nice point. Thank you, Nitai Charan. Yeah, well, we can see some other beautiful examples. There's another one praise. Okay. I'd like to know how we may have the seed for Krishna. Well, Brahmanda Brahmite Kom Bhagavan Jeev Guru Krishna Prasadi Pai Bhakti Nita. After wandering in this material world for many, many lifetimes, by the mercy of Krishna, one gets a spiritual master. By the mercy of the spiritual master, one gets Krishna. By the mercy of Krishna, the spiritual master, the seed of bhakti is well, it can be seen two ways. This verse describes it's planted in the heart, or it can be awoken in the heart. Because another verse goes, Nitya Siddha Krishna Prem Satikavanai Shravana Shuddha Chitta Kari Udaya. Love of Krishna is already there. It just has to be awoken by proper practice and association. So by association, that seed can be awoken. That attraction is already there. It's the constitutional nature of the living entity to love or serve Krishna. In the association of one who has it, it can be awoken. It's like with a match. If you have a match has potential for fire, but it will do nothing unless it comes into contact with some other factor which causes fire. Or we could take a more vivid example, a piece of wood. A piece of wood will not burn unless it comes into a contact with fire, and then it burns. So the living entity also, when we come in contact with somebody who has this fire of Krishna consciousness in their blazing fire of Krishna, the more it's blazing, the more effect it will have. Just like Prabhupada, he was able to ignite that flame within, and now millions of people all over the world still going on because the fire is blazing full. Kechit Kevalya Bhaktya Vasadeva Prana Gundam Fansikar. He said, no, that's the wrong word anyway. It's Tivena Bhakti Yogena. It's a blazing fire of devotional service. So Prabhupada was like that. Although you don't necessarily see it externally, but the potency coming through just affects people's hearts and begins to awaken that spark. So in the association of great devotees, and that also includes hearing their lectures, reading their books, associating with those who are following them sincerely as they can, etc. That spark can be awoken within our hearts. One prays to divert a situation in their life, thinking it may be detrimental to their Krishna consciousness. Is that still spiritual? Or one should accept it as Krishna's mercy? Well, you've got to have common sense as well. And Prabhupada does tell some examples of that. Like he gives one example of one man who was convinced that Krishna will always protect me and he's guiding me. He's walking down the road. I have nothing to worry about. And suddenly this other man, he had a big elephant. And suddenly the elephant ran amok. He went crazy. and started smashing everything, going everywhere, knocking people, flying glass, and smashing tables, everything going flying. And the owner of the elephant's running behind. Get out the way, get out the way, get out the way. Move, move, mad elephant. He's shouting at everyone. And people are running left. But this one man thinking, no, I have nothing to worry about. Krishna will protect me. He's in my heart. No worries. And the elephant comes right up to him. Bang! And sends him flying in the air. And he's lying there half dead. And he's wondering, oh my God, what happened? Krishna, I thought you were going to protect me. You're in my heart. What's going on? And the owner of the elephant comes on and said, what? Why did you, fool? Why didn't you move when I called you? And the man said, well, Krishna's in my heart. I mean, he's guiding everyone. I thought he would have protected me like this. And the owner of the elephant said, he's in your heart. He's in my heart as well. And he's telling you to get out of the way, you fool. And you can understand, it's not just he's with it. We have to learn from the situation around us too. Learn from others. So details like this, we can take some advice on the practical level, whether something is detrimental. Is this also another symptom of surrender, to accept that which is favorable and to reject that which is unfavorable? But we may not be on that level. Therefore, we take advice from those who are more advanced. What is favorable? What is unfavorable? Otherwise, we learn the hard way. It takes a little longer. We try to learn from those who've got some wisdom, some more advanced spiritual vision. What is favorable and what is unfavorable. And it's not that we just take it upon ourselves in this kind of a sentimental kind of a way as if we're so advanced. And that, we got to learn humility. And humility means to take shelter of guidance from more advanced devotees, generally speaking. Hare Krishna, is there any definite sign of full faith in Krishna's protection by which we can test our situation? Some feelings or some kind of unusual happenings, like the poison doesn't affect for that. I think you just have to stay in ISKCON. That's all. You get all the experiences you need in that regards. Tests are arranged by Krishna, and just to stay in the association of devotees, serve the Vaishnavas, chant Hare Krishna. And, it's like Janananda. Let's give a nice example. We were talking a few weeks ago about Janananda Prabhu. It was his Tirubhav. And how such a wonderful devotee. Such a wonderful devotee. Come what may, whoever was the TP, whatever was going on, he just dedicated himself to service. No matter what was happening, he would just chant Hare Krishna and serve, completely dedicating his life like that. We can just try to, follow in his footsteps and pray. We can also develop a drop of his faith, his devotion under any circumstances. When our service is taken away from us for some reason, I'm not saying it should be, we don't do these things purposely, but sometimes these things happen, something comes along, how we respond. It's generally how we respond to situations, not the situation itself, but how we respond. That's where the test normally lies, When everything's going fine, we're usually pretty jolly. When things don't go so well, that's usually the test of how we're progressing in spiritual life, when we're put into, externally or subtly difficult situations. And then taking shelter of Krishna. We take shelter of Krishna. We can't tell. It's like the coronavirus. I mean, no one could have told that was coming. We couldn't have told it was coming along anyway. And it came, and the situation changed. And you can see devotees all over the world taking shelter of Krishna. It's a wonderful, wonderful sight, actually, to see millions of devotees all listening to lectures, chanting holy names more, contacting each other more than usual. You haven't got much else to do. It's pretty good, In that sense, it's a sign that devotees are very fortunate and they're making progress in spiritual life. We just have to keep it up. So when the coronavirus thing goes away, we just have to keep up that same spirit of absorption in our daily lives. Satatam Kirti Yantam, I'm always chanting my glories. Devotees are always under the divine protection, under the protection of the divine energy by chanting the holy names of Krishna. So the sign is that we're always more chanting, more chanting, more chanting. And, seeing everything in relation with Krishna, whether we get what this way or this comes or that comes, we don't think, I'm good, I got this, I'm bad, I didn't get this, or whatever. You just see whatever Krishna wants. This is Prabhupada's mood. Read the poem, Markandeya Bhagavat Dharma. See the mood of a pure devotee. See the mood of which we should try to follow in. The mood of Srila Prabhupada, the mission of Srila Prabhupada. What to say? Hare Krishna, it is seemingly easier to surrender to Krishna only after all else fails, our own endeavors to try to control the situation, but that does not feel too sincere and more like using Krishna as our order supplier. How can we then surrender in all circumstances, good or bad? And if it means that when we sort of forget to surrender the next day or moment, our level of surrender seems not that deep. How can we continue to deepen our surrender to become less crooked? Keep on the straight and narrow path. Associate with devotees who are a little straighter. And Krishna's in the heart. He knows our sincerity. He'll arrange situations so that we realize that, we're perhaps a little bit, say mixed in our motives and mixed in our activities or whatever it may be. Or we may be a little bit looking at Krishna for an order supplier. We forget him the next day when things look better and so on. Every devotee who's been on book distribution as we will have experienced this, that when you go on book distribution and then suddenly you're distributing books, somehow or another you think, wow, Krishna's so kind. Today is so good. So many books are going out today. It's amazing. Wow, I'm doing so well today. I must be a really good book distributor now. And then suddenly, pop, 4 hours later, not one book has gone out. What's going on? Krishna says, as soon as that comes up, Krishna gives us that. He reminds us usually if we're a little bit sincere. If we're not, we may not be ready for that. So Krishna lets us carry on sometimes with that mentality until we're ready. Then he takes away that mentality when we're ready. It goes away. In the association of devotees, it goes away quicker usually because it gets pointed out. We don't get the respect that we always wanted maybe. So Krishna takes it away. He also takes away that which is, an impediment to our devotional service. So he teaches us these wonderful lessons. It may take a little while before we learn the lessons, but it's going on. Just keep chanting Hare Krishna through thick and thin. There's a beautiful song by Bhaktivinoda Thakur called Gai Gora Madhusaraya. Grihe tako vani tako sadari bolidako sukhe dukhe bulunako vajane harinam kore. Whatever we are, just keep chanting, whether we're happy or distressed, whatever it is, fill the lips with the holy name. Just keep chanting or go away. Krishna will show us, especially we'll find when you're chanting japa, especially if we're just taking shelter of the name, these realizations will come up. They'll come up, and in the presence of the holy name, they'll be destroyed. Just like Krishna performed so many wonderful pastimes in Vrindavan, killing this demon, killing that demon. All these demons represent various anarthas, various crooked mentalities, etc., etc. And by Krishna killing them, Prabhupada said, Krishna, why does he perform so many amazing pastimes? So we have some Krishna pastimes to remember. In other words, what will we think about? We should remember these pastimes. They destroy all these crooked mentalities, all these, anarthas within our hearts just by absorbing ourselves in these pastimes, absorbing ourselves in the holy name. The dirt comes up. The dirt comes up in our heart. We keep chanting. It's like in the presence of the sun, the negative film becomes destroyed. It becomes completely burned up. So in the presence of Krishna, Sursam, Maya, Haya, Andhakara, in the presence of Krishna, there cannot be Maya. So take shelter of the holy name of Krishna. Try to hear that, and association to those does help, for sure, in that regard. Take shelter of the holy name of Krishna, and all these things will be burned up in the fire of the holy name, or the fire emanating from the holy name. All the dirty things will be burned. Hare Krishna, glories to Srila Prabhupada. Shall we pray that Krishna puts us in a difficult situation? You're already in a difficult situation. How much more difficulty do we want? Even if we don't have a surrender like Queen Kunti, thank you. I'll have Olivia. We're try to understand the material body is a difficult situation. The mind, the body, the world around us, all the conditioned soul. We're in a difficult situation already. And, you know, as much as you think Paris or whatever, wherever we are, is a very nice place. It's not. When Prabhupada arrived in Boston, Prabhupada said, "You have brought me to this hellish place. You must have some reason for bringing me here." You know, we don't see it because we got so conditioned to it. And as we said earlier on, there is danger at every step in this world. Try to understand that, you know, it's material world. So yes, we do get some more difficult situations. We don't have to pray. Queen Kunti was, in a sense, praying for that. Why? Because in those situations, she could remember him more and more and more and more and more, being in those difficulties. And that's the protection. So, but we don't evoke it necessarily. She's experienced it and she's just hankering to always remember Krishna. So sometimes we get that. I mean, I would say myself, and I can fully sympathize with this because we've all had that experience. I've had it quite a few times where you've been in really, really, really dangerous situations, life-threatening situations. And it is how Krishna, and I see it as more Krishna than me, is Krishna appears, you know. It's not that I evoke those situations, but he appears in that situation to protect us. Yeah, so, but we have to try to call him in all situations. The whole material world is a dangerous place. Call him in every situation, not just evoke a situation, you know. Now, like somebody says, I won't chant Hare Krishna until the time of death comes, then I will chant. We should kind of look at it like that. You know, we should try now, practice now, chanting Hare Krishna and doing whatever we're doing service, and not wait till that situation of danger or difficulty, relatively speaking, comes its way. Practice chanting in the situation we're in now, whether we see it as dangerous or not. And then if the much more dangerous situation comes along, definitely Krishna will be more likely to remind us to chant his holy name. In fact, there's one beautiful prayer of Prabhupada. He wrote this to one devotee, I think it was Devananda, and he said, our only prayer should be, my dear Lord Krishna, you are sitting in my heart as a super soul. Please always remind me to chant your holy names and not forget to chant. You may send me to heaven or hell, that doesn't matter, but always please remind me to chant your holy names. We need the mercy. Pray to Krishna that we can always chant his name in difficulty, distress or not. But we don't need to pray for distressful situations. We should pray to be always engaged in chanting the holy names of Krishna. That's it. That's the list, I think. Rohini, that's it? I think so. So we'll end up with some kirtan. Oh yeah, just one more. I suppose one of my favorites is Ambarish Maharaj. He's a beautiful example of Krishna. There are many others. There are so many, unlimited. But Ambarish Maharaj, how Krishna protected him. That was again Durvasa Muni. He has this role to play, you know. Has this role of inciting devotees. We shouldn't imitate him. He would incite the devotees. So he became envious of Ambarish, who was such a great devotee performing sacrifices, a king. And so Durvasa, a Brahmin, this man is getting so much recognition. So he just thought, well, show him just like that Ramchandra Khan tested Haridasa. So he wanted to test him. And he came there, and he came there at an appropriate moment, just as Ambarish Maharaj was just about to break a long fast, and at the exact moment, practically that moment, he came, and Ambarish was in a dilemma because he was supposed to break fast, but you can't eat when a guest is there until the guest is fully satisfied. So he came there at the moment. Ambarish humbly and respectfully received Durvasa and wanted to obviously receiving nicely with nice prasadam and everything. But Devasa said, first I will go to the local nearby river Yamuna, wherever it was, and I will take my bath, and then I will come back, okay? So he went off to Yamuna purposely to stay there until the time was overdue for Ambarish to break his fast. And thus the whole yajna would be ruined if he didn't break his fast. So he knew this. So he was just, how to say it, a spite. So he was doing this. And meanwhile, he was in the river with taking his bath, etc., chanting his mantras. And the moment was almost over. And Ambarish said what to do. So he consulted with his Brahmins, associates, his ministers, etc. And Ambarish concluded, drink a little tiny drop of water, because taking a drop of water is breaking fast and not breaking fast. And again, scripture is another way Krishna protects us. Varnashram Dharma protects the human society from falling down. That's why Varnashram is so important. Chastity of ladies, all these things is to protect us from falling down in the Vedic culture. The scriptures are there. They're known as Shastra. There's Shastra, which the Kshatriya uses to protect people, weapons, and Shastra, the scriptures to protect human society. So there's many ways Krishna is protecting us, but we don't take advantage of his protection. The rules and regulations, they're called the regulated principles. Prasadamadi Gacchati in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna's regulated principles of freedom. They're there to protect us, not to restrain us, but to release us. Protection. Varnashram is to protect the conditioned souls so they can gradually evolve and not get entangled in repeated birth and death in lower species. It's to protect us. And the scriptures all in their entirety are to protect living entities, especially in human life, so they progress on the spiritual path. Anyway, back to Ambarish Maharaj. Ambarish Maharaj was, what to do. He just drank a little water. He found this verse in the scripture. He remembered it. And it is breaking fast and not breaking fast. So he took a drop of water. But Durvasa Muni didn't like it. So he immediately realized by his mystic power, he came back furious. What is this? You call yourself a human being. You call yourself a king, a devotee of the Lord. You are not a devotee of all. You have offended me. Instead of feeding me first, you have eaten. I will teach you a lesson you will never forget. He was going on, angry, and he pulled a hair out of his head. He was a partial expansion of Lord Shiva. Pulled the hair out of his head and thrashed it on the ground. Boom! An enormous demon, fiery demon appeared, came roaring towards Ambarish Maharaj to kill him. Ambarish did nothing. He just kept chanting the name of God, the Lord. Taking shelter of Krishna, do as you wish with me. I've offended this great Brahmin. I deserve it. And he wasn't. But Krishna took it differently. Immediately, the Sudarshan came on the spot and slashed the demon to shreds, and then chased Durvasa around the universe. Another story, until he came back and surrendered at the lotus feet of Ambarish. Even Krishna protects. He protects us in different ways. We've seen many different examples of how Krishna protects, but it's all for our ultimate benefit, to release us from our illusion and bring us to the spiritual platform. Whatever we go through, the devotee Prabhupada said, takes control. When a person first comes to devotional service, Krishna's hand is at work. So even we go away, we stay, we make mistakes, we go up and down. It's all part. Krishna's hand is working there to help us to come to our senses, to realize taking full shelter of Krishna, full shelter. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Shall we pray that Krishna puts us in a difficult situation? I think we did that. We've done it before. So just read about these wonderful ways that Krishna gives shelter. Take advantage. So let us now take shelter of the holy name. 10 minutes of kirtan with the cartels. I didn't read. I was going to read from the Narayan Kavacha, which is another thing sometimes devotees do, but Prabhupada didn't make a big point of it. In the Bhagavatam, we can see how Lord Indra was protected by the Narayan Kavacha against the demons, and there's some beautiful verses there about taking shelter of the holy name. It's the 6th canto, I believe. You can take a look at that if you wish. We won't have time. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Bolo, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Oranga, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Bolo, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Bol, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Hare Go Premanandi! Hare Krishna, everybody. We are again, for anyone who can tolerate it, who wants to practice tolerance, who wants to take shelter of Krishna in difficulty, then tomorrow at 6 o'clock, French time, if Krishna allows. We are depending on him. Sometimes the electricity doesn't work. Sometimes the internet doesn't work. Sometimes we don't work. That's the nature of this world. But we're planning to be 6 o'clock tomorrow, French time, online. And you're welcome to give us your association if you wish. Hare Krishna, everybody. Thank you all so much. And thank you very much for Janananda Prabhu for translating. Thank you, Rasikananda Prabhu, for hosting. And thank you, all of you, for being with us this evening. And we wish you all, or morning, whatever it is. For many of you, it's early morning. For some of you, it's the middle of the day. For some of you, it's late evening. Whatever it is, we thank you and wish you all the very best. Keep safe by chanting the holy names. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. You can put the mute off, or whatever you call it, and we can all say Haribol.
Haribol!
Haribol! Haribol! Haribol! Hare Krishna! Hare Krishna! Hare Rama! Hare Rama! Rama
Hare Hare!
Hare Krishna.
Haribol! Off we go.
Krishna.
Good night, everyone. Good morning.